Hello beauties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shatina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video we are doing my long overdue review on the Fenty cream products. So I picked up one of the bronzers and one of the cream blushes, and today I'm going to let you know whether I recommend them or not. These came out on the 17th of April, I believe. I ordered these on the same day. Now I've been playing around with these for about, I want to say about 2 weeks now. So I have a pretty good idea of how I feel about them. But before we get into that, I'm just going to give you some details about these guys and how you all who are in Australia, which is where I am, can get access to these products. So you can order these through Sephora Australia. They are currently on the Sephora Australia website. Most of the colors are in stock. These bronzers retail for 50 Australian dollars each, and they come with 6.23 grams. So it comes in this rose gold packaging with the cream bronzer logo on the front there, and then inside is your cream bronzer, and you also get a fairly decent mirror. It is very clear. Not really liking how my skin is looking today, but it is a very clear mirror. It's a decent size, and I feel like the size of the mirror in the bronzer is actually a really good size to be able to apply makeup. Like if you are in a pinch and you're on the go and you have this guy with you, I think that you'll definitely be able to do a pretty good face of makeup in this mirror. This bronzer is described as a light as air, non-greasy cream bronzer that effortlessly melts into skin for a natural looking bronze, or soft contour in 7 no-fuss shades for all skin tones. Now for me, I picked up the color Butta Biscuit, which is the second lightest shade. Now I have been playing around with this. I've been using this as a like contour, bronzer kind of product. I have been using this to chisel out my cheeks a little bit as well, just to play around and see how I like the color for basically everything bronze contour type on my face. I will say I really like the tone of this bronzer for my really pale complexion. I feel like it works really, really well for my pale complexion. A lot of the times with the standard colored bronzers, I find that they can pull and they can look quite orange on my skin, and I don't like how that effect looks. I don't like looking like an Oompa Loompa. So I really like the tone of this, and I feel like across the 7 shades, I think Fenty could definitely probably expand a little bit with the shade range, but I think across the shade range, I think they have thought out the colors very, very well. I like applying this bronzer. I have played with this bronzer a fair bit. I've tried it over powder, I've tried it under powder, I have tried it with my my Tati Blenderful, I've tried it with a beauty blender sponge, I've tried it with a brush, I've tried it with my fingers. I've tried this many different ways. Now my favorite type of application method for this product is using this guy right here. This is my Refa number 17 brush, and this is a really small flat top kabuki brush, but it does have quite a bit of flex to it. I just find that this is a perfect little size to be able to dip into the bronzer, and then like I go in tapping motions, and then I kind of really softly, gently buff in like circular motions, not too hard so as to disturb my base below. Like under my chin and like my neck down, I kind of just go ham, as you can see in the footage. Now I really like how natural this bronzer tone looks on me. I feel like it's really flattering. It doesn't pull too orange. I feel like it's a really nice natural bronzer color for me. The texture, I really like the texture of this cream bronzer. I feel like it is really easy to work with. It is a product that you can build up, so you can build up the color, and that's the way I like to work with cream products, particularly if I'm applying it over my foundation. So my preferred method for this product, I don't mind applying it under foundation as well. I think it looks really nice under foundation, but I like to apply my foundation and then I go with this over the top, but it does look very nice under foundation as well. So I will apply my foundation and then I'll apply this product over the top, and I just find that it is sheer enough that you don't have to blend aggressively, but it is also buildable enough that you can get that intensity that you want with the bronzer. I personally don't like my bronzer to be too over the top. I just feel like with my really pale skin, it just looks a little bit unnatural if I am too bronzed. So I like the buildability of this product. I find it is really good and it's really easy to work with. And I find the bronzer really easy to blend, particularly as I'm laying down like my contour and stuff like that. When I'm using this product as a contour, I find it really easy to blend with. And because it is more subtle, this is definitely a more subtle, more buildable product. I find that it is easy to blend and I find it looks really natural when I am blending it out on my face. All in all, my roundup on the Fenty bronzer is I love it. I think it is a really beautiful cream bronzer to work with. I think the shade range is really good. I think it's got some really good undertones and some really unique undertones and colors that you can't get in most bronzer shade ranges. I personally am very much considering picking up the color Amber, which is the lightest shade in the shade range, but it's quite a gray tone, and I feel like that will definitely look really good on my skin tone as a contour. I think if you are looking at these shades, I think you need to be a little bit careful just with the undertones. I think there are some undertones and some colors in the shade range that lend themselves more to bronzer shades, and there are definitely other shades that lend themselves to be more contour shades. So I think it just depends on what your personal undertone is, what your color, how deep your skin tone is, how light your skin tone is, will depend on which one will work best for you. I personally find that Butta Biscuit works really well for my skin tone for both bronzing and contouring. I just would like to get the Amber just to play with it a little bit, and I think for contouring, just the shade of it, I think will definitely give me more of a really defined contour with that shade. So I am definitely considering picking up the shade Amber in this bronzer, and just I would like to play around with using them individually as well as together. I don't find the bronzer emphasizes any texture. In the close-up application, you will see my skin does look quite textured. I feel like that is coming from my Tarte Shape Tape concealer and not the bronzer itself. My skin texture in the close-up looks horrific because I did go ahead and apply the Tarte Shape Tape under my eyes, on my forehead, down my nose and my chin, and it's just not it. It is not it. So yeah, the bronzer for me is a hit. I love it. Considering buying another shade, I think it's great. I am really pleasantly surprised by this product. I really enjoy the texture, the consistency, the blendability, the buildability, and I think for 6.23 grams, $50 is not, it's not a horrible price. It is high, but it's not a horrible price when you compare this to other cream bronzers on the market. The Fenty Beauty Cream Blush. Now I picked up the shade Drama Class. I was very tempted to pick up more shades. I was very tempted to pick up all the shades, but I resisted and I only picked up the color Drama Class. The Cheeks Out Freestyle Blush retails for 33 Australian dollars and it comes in at 3 grams. Now I will say, and if you guys go ahead and buy one of each of these like I did, there is a pretty considerable difference between the sizes. In terms of the prices, I don't know whether they're really comparable. I know some people have said the prices are pretty comparable, but comparing sizes, you're getting a little bit under half of the amount of product that you get in the bronzers. And in Australian dollars, this one retails for $50, this one retails for 33. It's definitely not half the price. Compared to other blushes, I think it's a pretty fair price. And compared to when you actually start using this, how much you actually use per application, you're going to get a lot of use out of these. But I don't think the argument that it is like half the size, so it's half the price, is really fair, especially in Australian dollars. It doesn't work out to be half the price. And like I said, you will notice, like, as soon as you get these and you take them out of the box, or even if you take the box out of your Sephora box, you're going to see these in their little boxes they come in, and you're going to be shocked by the size. You're going to think that someone is punking you, because that's how I thought. I thought that someone was playing a practical joke, because the size difference between these is quite considerable. Fenty describes the blushes as a light as air, non-greasy cream blush that instantly melts into skin for an effortless wash of color, giving life to all skin tones with a no-fuss, natural looking flush in 10 shades. So this guy comes in 10 shades. How do I feel about this product? I am still not sold on this product. I think it looks really nice, and I think for me, more than anything, I think it might be this particular color that I picked up. I went for this color because I wanted a color that was really quite unique to my collection, and I have kind of been on the hunt for a nice like purple toned blush, but for me this is not it. This color is not it. It does like end up looking nice and natural on the skin. Once again, these products I find are really buildable. When you first apply these, if you're not applying like a lot, they come off really quite sheer. So you definitely have to kind of pile the product up if you really want a really like intense blush, or if you have a really deep skin tone. If you have a really deep skin tone, you're going to need to build this product up, and I do find that they do build. I just don't know whether I really enjoy the consistency. I have found my preferred method to apply this is with my fingers and then blending it out with my beauty sponge. But for me, on a daily basis at the moment, I'm using my Tati Blenderful to apply my foundation, apply my powder, apply some of my other cream blushes. But for me, I found that the Tati Blenderful did not work with this product. I just didn't like how it applied using this blush, and I didn't find that it really applied the blush nicely as much as my fingers. I feel like the consistency between these two is similar but different at the same time. This one is really blendable, it's really buildable, it's easy to apply, it's easy to blend. This one I find you really need to warm it up. You need to warm it up in your fingers, you need to get in there and like swirl it around in your fingers. I myself have been putting this onto my metal palette. I just want to, you know, potentially put this in my makeup kit, or potentially use it on other people in the future. So I have been depotting this with a makeup spatula, and then I really like work into my fingers on my metal palette, and then I go ahead and apply it. If you just apply it to your face cold or with a brush or anything like that, I just feel like you get these color splotches on your face and it's harder to blend out. I have found when I'm using a brush, I get like these marks on my face from my brushes, and it's just harder to blend out. So I definitely feel like the warmth of your fingers is needed to apply this, and that way it really blends out really nicely. And then I go over the top with my beauty sponge and blend out the edges, or you can go back in with the Tati Blenderful and blend out the edges with like the product that is left over on your Blenderful. But like I said, I just feel like this one doesn't really work into my everyday routine as well as the bronzer. Am I going to repurchase any more colors? Once again, I'm on the fence about whether I'm going to repurchase any colors or any more colors. I feel like I have shot myself in the foot getting this color. I thought that I would be able to make it work, but for me, it's just not working. Like, it's just not working. And I feel like sometimes that it doesn't like sit well on my face, and it kind of gathers in little areas. So like one side, like I feel like this side of my face looks really nice and blended, and then this side where I have like some little areas of texture, I feel like it has clung ever so slightly to those little areas of texture, and it just is not it. Like, I love the bronzer. I'm still not sold on the cream blush, but I potentially, if I got another color in the blush, that I might enjoy it, but I don't know whether I'm willing to spend another $33 to give that a try. So I think going forward with the blushes, I definitely would like to see these in store and swatch all the colors out on my skin tone and then judge it that way. That's my review on these two products. I love the bronzer, not sold on the cream blush just yet, but I hope the way I've described it gives you a good indication of whether you will like it the way that you have to build it up and whatnot. If you have a deeper skin tone, like medium to deep skin tone, I think this color in particular, drama class, would look really nice on your skin tone. But if you have a really pale, you would definitely have to probably be going for that more intense blush look. But in saying that, it is sheer. It's sheer to buildable. Start really small with these, like start slowly and build them up. Don't like go in with a massive whack on your cheeks because you might have trouble blending them out. And I would say like build it up, especially if you're using your fingers, like tap lightly and then like blend it out and go little by little until you kind of figure out how you like it to work and look on your skin, instead of just going in with a massive chunk right at the start and then regretting your decisions down the track. So yeah, that's it. I probably will pick up another color just to see whether I can find a way that I like the formula. I've seen people apply this many different ways. I've seen people apply it with a beauty sponge. I've seen people apply it with their fingers, with brushes. Like I've seen people apply both of these products in many different ways. I feel like the bronzer, like I've already said, you can work with most things with it just based on the formula and the consistency. I definitely feel like, for me personally, from what I've discovered, I feel like the blush needs to be warmed up. It needs to be worked. That's my review on my two Fenty cream products that I have picked up. If I do end up getting any more of these, I might do a follow-up review and I'll let you know about those colors. Let me know down in the comments box whether you have picked any of the Fenty cream products up. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you found it useful or helpful at all. Also, if you're new around here and you want to keep up to date on any of my reviews as well as any of my project panning videos, I hope you'll consider subscribing down below so you can get notified when those videos go live. That's it for this video, beauties. I hope you are having a fantastic day. I hope you are staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.